Imagine pouring your heart into your dream, building something from scratch, only to have it almost destroyed by one greedy, lying client. Now imagine carrying that betrayal with you for 8 long years, until the day you finally got your revenge in ways he never saw coming. That's exactly what happened to me, and today, you're about to hear the story of how one thief tried to kick me when I was already at my lowest, and how I made sure he paid for it, over and over again. If you've ever had someone cheat you, lie to you, or steal from you, and you wished you could get justice, then hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Because this isn't just a revenge story, it's proof that karma sometimes needs a helping hand. It was the late 2000s, and I was in one of the most fragile points of my life. My dad had just passed away, and I was doing everything I could to take care of my grieving mom while also trying to keep my own life afloat. To make things even more intense, my wedding was only 2 months away. I was juggling grief, responsibility, love, and a mountain of bills. And in the middle of all that chaos, I had just opened my small bed and breakfast. It was my dream, my chance to finally build something of my own. But I was only 3 months in. The business was young, vulnerable, and every single dollar mattered. So when a new client walked through the door, I saw hope. He wasn't just some random guest. He had a contract in the area, which meant he needed lodging and meals for multiple people for 6 days straight. Dinner, bed, and breakfast for a whole group. That was huge money for me at the time. Money that meant I could cover bills, keep the lights on, and maybe even breathe a little for the first time in months. When I agreed to host them, I felt relief. Like maybe, just maybe, things were finally turning around. But hope can be cruel when you give it to the wrong person. The arrangement was simple. They'd stay 6 days, meals included, and at the end of the week, payment would be made. The client told me the company just needed to add me to the system and payment would come on Friday. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him. After all, this was business, right? Who lies about something like that? So I cooked. I cleaned. I gave them my very best service. And for 6 exhausting days, I poured my energy into making sure everything was perfect. But on the last night, they vanished. In the middle of the night, they packed their things and left. No payment. No goodbye. Nothing but silence and unpaid bills in their wake. I can still remember the sick feeling in my stomach when I walked into the empty rooms. The beds stripped, the air heavy with the smell of food I'd prepared the night before. I knew in that instant I'd been robbed. I tried for 6 months to get the money back. 6 months of phone calls, messages, chasing him like a beggar. 6 months of being strung along, ignored, or flat out lied to. And the worst part? Because of him, I couldn't pay some of my own bills. I had to borrow money just to keep going. What should have been the happiest time of my life, planning a wedding, building a business, became a nightmare. It took me years to dig myself out of that hole. Years of sacrifice, of late nights, of stress. And all because one man decided my trust, my hard work, my livelihood didn't matter. But here's the thing about me, I don't forget. And I sure as hell don't forgive. At first, I told myself to let it go. Focus on my business, focus on my family, focus on moving forward. But late at night, when the house was quiet and the weight of everything pressed down, my mind would wander back to him. The thief. The liar. The man who looked me in the eye and stole from me at the exact moment I was most vulnerable. It wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about respect. It was about dignity. And it was about sending a message. You don't get to destroy someone else's life and walk away smiling. So I started plotting. Quietly. Patiently. Carefully. This wasn't going to be some quick outburst of anger. This was going to be a slow burn. A revenge that stretched across years until he had no choice but to feel the weight of what he'd done. And oh, did he feel it? It started small. I knew his number, so I started calling him in the middle of the night. Always from a private number, always at the worst times. 2 a.m. 3 a.m. 4 a.m. Sometimes I'd set alarms just to wake up and call him. Other times, if I woke up to pee, I'd make sure to dial his number before crawling back into bed. It became a ritual. A way of saying, I'm still here. You don't get to forget me. He tried ignoring it, but I didn't stop. He changed his habits, but I kept going. Until eventually, he disconnected the number altogether. But that was just the beginning. Next, I took that same number and his email, and I signed him up for everything I could find. Spam websites. Scam newsletters. And yes, even the seediest corners of the internet, porn subscriptions, junk mail lists, you name it. Everywhere he turned, he was bombarded with the digital garbage I'd shoveled his way. And when that wasn't enough, I escalated. Bad reviews. His full name, his business name, plastered across the internet with one truth attached: he was a thief. Every Facebook post he uploaded, I commented under it, this man is a thief. He stole from me. Until finally, he made his profile private. But I didn't stop there either. If he wanted to hide from me, I'd find another way in. I started messaging his friends directly. Every one of them. Explaining how he'd stolen from me, how he was a liar, how he couldn't be trusted. I made sure the people closest to him knew exactly who he was. And when I learned the location of his shop, I Googled the area, looked up his neighbors, and called them one by one. I told them he was selling drugs out of his business. True? Maybe not. But fair? In my eyes, absolutely. Because if he could spread lies by omission and steal what was mine, then he didn't deserve the luxury of reputation. For 8 years, I kept this up. 8 years of calls. Messages. Spam. Reviews. Warnings. Until eventually, the whispers turned into reality. His business closed down. His reputation crumbled. He disappeared from social media, his friends turned cold, and the life he thought he could live untouched was ruined. And you know what? I don't regret a single second. Because here's the truth, what he stole from me wasn't just money. He stole peace. He stole security. He stole the fragile hope I was clinging to when I'd already lost so much. So yes, I made sure he paid. Not just once. Not just for a week. But for years. And when I look at my life now, my business thriving, my family taken care of, bills paid, stability earned, I can't help but smile. Because while I built something real, he lost everything. Some people will say I went too far. That revenge doesn't fix anything. But let me tell you this, when someone tries to destroy your life during your weakest moment, justice isn't about forgiveness. It's about making sure they never do it again. And in my case, I'd say mission accomplished. If this story gives you chills, smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, subscribe for more real-life stories of karma, payback, and justice served cold. Because sometimes, revenge isn't just sweet. It's necessary.